Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Denver Motorsports Park, I think it is. I'm not sure. We're here for 9 laps of racing in heat number 1. We're counting down the races. Just 3 races remain now to the start of the playoffs. And after finishing terribly at ISM, 1 race to go, Adam Flickinger on the pole for the heat race here at Denver, trying to find the way get a heat win, maybe start on the front row. It is hard to pass at this racetrack, and he needs a win if he wants to make the playoffs at this race. Starting next to him on the front row is Casey Nanako, another driver trying to work his way in with win or with points. Andrew Rich has won the last 2 heat races and the last 2 main events. He has now taken the points lead for the first time since he won Talladega. Starting next to him is Ryan Brommer. Row 3 is Hunter Braxton and Sky Commons. Row 4, Cole Deaver, Quinton Moore. And in row 5, we have Marty Johnson and Joshua Sekuli. As we get ready for 9 laps of racing, it's the similar chassis to what we saw at Coca-Cola Super Speedway, so this should be quite the interesting heat.
Y'all come say it with me. Drivers, start your engine!
The cars are rolling off, everyone rolling off. So we said it, or I said it, 3 races left. Denver, St. Joltis, and then Kansas. And with Sekuli's 6 top 5 of the season, he really gapped Samet Oskin. It's now 21 points from him to Oskin, and Oskin has a total of 28 points over Zachary Fitzwater Sr. So things are getting very interesting. That it's looking like we might have our 20-car field set. At least 2 drivers will make the playoffs now on points alone. If we have another repeat winner in the main event today, that will increase to 3. Green flags out here for heat number 1. Does Andrew Rich get his 7th heat win, or will Sorlin or perhaps Braxton get heat win number 8? That's been kind of an elusive number so far this season. It's bound to happen eventually, but you tend to wonder, will anyone hit 10? There's definitely enough time for someone to pull that off. Sorlin's last heat win comes now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 races ago at Pukekohe. And you have to go 10 races ago for Braxton's last heat win back at Kyalami. Andrew Rich is looking to be the first driver to win 3 heat races in a row. And he is to the inside of Adam Flickinger for the lead. Casey Nanako running in line in 3rd, Braxton 4th. Battle for 5th between Deaver and Brommer as Flickinger holding off Andrew Rich on the top side. That's allowing Nanako to creep up from 3rd. We'll have to see who sets the fast laps here in Heat 1. So far, Flickinger looking strong. Not sure when we'll see pit stops here in this heat race, and taking tires could be huge because even if tire wear is not massive here, with the chassis type they're running, it's not a lot of downforce in the corners, so not a lot of grip in the corners. Tires really, really matter. So Andrew Rich, after being stuck on the bottom by Flickinger and Nanako, ran a lap much slower than the 6 did. A whole 3/10 slower at that. We'll see if Andrew can show us his real speed here at this lap. But these heat races will go by pretty fast. Already on to lap number 4 of 9. And Rich seemingly pretty equal with Adam Flickinger. Tire wear has not come into play just yet. Your bottom four right now as they run are, wow, Jonathan Zorlin, Benjamin Ice, Slade Jagger, and Donovan Cage. And Zorlin has gotten by Baco Magora for 20th. Zorlin had a bad day at ISM, and he's having a bad day here in this heat race. Not in any danger to miss the playoffs due to his win in the first Pukeca race, but Zorlin likely does not want to miss a race. Benjamin Ice getting a good run. Andrew Rich really closing in there on Flickinger that time by. Let's see the top speeds here. Zorlin hitting 205 into turn one, all the way down to 159 in the corner. That's the chassis for you. Really makes these drivers have to lift. Benjamin Ice trying to get to the inside of Zorlin for 20th, but he doesn't quite have the power off the corner. Big gap from Bobo Jones to Sikuli. Frodemar Ox running in 11th place. Battle up here for 8th between Commons and Bright. Quinton Moore having a pretty good showing here in this heat. He's in 7th. Brommer 6th, Deaver 5th. Braxton on the bumper of Nanako for 3rd. Meanwhile, Andrew Rich is glued to the bumper of Adam Flickinger. Next time by will be 3 to go in heat number 1. And you gotta wonder, does anyone pit Rich to the outside of Adam Flickinger? Is this the race-winning move, or in this case, the heat-winning move? Rich trying to find the way by Flickinger. Topside might be the key. It's not for Hunter Braxton. He's losing several positions. He'll fall all the way to 6th as Andrew Rich goes to the top side once again. Cole Deaver to the top side behind them, trying to find the way by the 12 of Nanako. As now Peter Onjak has fallen to 21st, Zorlin up to 19th, Ice up to 20th. Coming to 2 to go, no sign still of anyone needing to pit. Fall off is already down to about 2 seconds. It happens rapidly on 4X. Coming to 2 to go. Let's see what the lap time here this time by Flickinger is. It's a 47.224, so they're falling off about 0.3 of a second a lap. Does Andrew Rich have anything for Adam Flickinger? As I look at my data sheet, Adam Flickinger is the only Roush Fenway Racing driver without a heat win this season. Jesse Turner has won twice. Nico Tringali has won thrice. So 2 times for Turner, 3 times for Tringali. They're coming around to the white flag. Does Andrew Rich have anything for Adam Flickinger? They continue the battle behind them for positions that don't matter. Fall off is down a full 2 seconds from the best lap times on the board. And Andrew Rich has the top time, but you can see very even between himself, Quinton Moore, and Adam Flickinger. We go to the bottom of the grid now. Slade Jagger's up to 20th. Put Ice back down to 21st. Onjak to 22nd. Zorlin up to 18th. Andrew Rich looking for heat win number 7 to tie teammate Hunter Braxton and Ford rival Jonathan Zorlin, but it's not going to happen today. Off of turn 4, getting his first heat win of the season will be Adam Flickinger. He gets the heat win here at Denver. And battle for the last position to make the field between Ice and Jagger goes to Benjamin Ice. By a nose, Benjamin Ice makes the race. But all eyes are on the 6 of Adam Flickinger, as a must-needed heat win could put him in position to get a win in the main event. So missing the race from Heat 1 will be Slade Jagger, Peter Onjak, Donovan Cage, and Bacco Magora. And with that, guys, I will see you for Heat number 2. Welcome back to Denver Motorsports Park, as this is a very interesting qualifying lineup for Heat number 2. On the front row, we have Edwin Mendez, who has not won a single heat race all season, next to Alan Cavanero, who just got his second heat win of the season at ISM. Row 2 is Corey Riggs and Seth Cole. Seth Cole with just one heat win. That was back at Tula. Row 3 is James Ellison and Audra Baran-Oscus. Now, Ellison only 2 heat wins on the season. Baran-Oscus has many more. Row 4 is Matthew Logan and RJ Bishop. And row 5 is Samet Oskin and Dylan Young. So, very, very interesting starting lineup. We'll go through the rest of the rows. Why not? Just something different. Row 6 is Lightning and Fernandez. 7 is Catano and Tringali. 8 is Watson and Gardner. 9 is Voiles and Anderson. Row 10 is King and Baker. Row 11 is Hudson and Nereza. And row 12 is Wheeler and Rose. So Nereza in a bad qualifying position. We're going to go on board the roof camera of the 20 for the start of this heat race, because he starts 22nd and he's in a points making position for the playoffs.
If you love NASCAR as much as I do, get on your feet and help me start this race. Gentlemen, start your engine!
There's the command. So we talk about Nereza being in one of those points positions, meaning he's one of the guys trying to make the playoffs on points. Currently, the top 2 drivers who would make the playoffs on points, if there's 3 new winners below Nereza, Sekuli, and Mendez, or not Mendez, Nereza, Sekuli, and Oskin, it would be Gardner and Commons who would make it on points. Gardner has 44 points over Commons, and Commons has a total of 19 points over Nereza. And then Nereza's in his own little world. He has 82 points over Sekuli. So Nereza wants to see another repeat winner to all but solidify his place in the playoffs. But if he misses this race and Sekuli gets a good finish and Oskin gets a good finish, it could be very bad for his chances. Already we see some 3 wide. Everyone on the grid fine. Nereza going to the top. It seems to be the place you want to be. Johnny Gardner starting back here too. He does not need to lose positions. And wow, he just lost a ton of positions there. So maybe Nereza needs to look low here. It looks like he'll go into 3 wide almost. He gets really low on the apron and he has to back out. And he is going towards the back. Gardner's down to 20th place and Nereza's not having any fun. Leading lap 1 here in Heat 2 is the 4 of Edwin Mendez, as Nereza tries to hold off Chris Wheeler and Alexander Rowe on the bottom, and he has so much more grip mid-corner. He'll easily clear those 2. They look like they do not have good race cars at all today. But he needs to gain 2 more positions. Gardner's already passed Cole Baker for 19th. And Nereza's flying up here now. And Gardner's losing a ton of positions from drivers moving to the top. Baker passes back and Nereza's following with. We'll check back on that battle later. Seth Cole losing positions. Corey Riggs still holding on to 5th. As Audra Baran-Oscus is using the top line. She has gone from starting 6th and is looking to take 3rd away from James Ellison. Meanwhile, Edwin Mendez leads Alan Cavanero. Mendez is looking for that first heat victory on the season. He almost had it all the way back at Watkins Glen, but Baranowskis passed him on the last corner and edged him out. Cavanero would be looking for his third heat win. And what an interesting front row it would be if it were Flickinger and Mendez. On top of that, Flickinger and Cavanero would be just as interesting. Mendez already with a win on the season. He got that W back at the Dodge Motordrome. He currently sits 19th in the points coming into today's event. He and RJ Bishop just on the edge. By the way, Fitzwater and Braxton keep up their streak of races. They are still 100% on the start calendar going into the main event in an hour and a half. Two drivers from this heat looking to do the same are Seth Cole and Alan Cavanero. Cavi looking pretty good right now. He runs in second. Cavi started second at ISM, but a mechanical failure late in the race gave him a poor finish. He still sits 23rd in the standings, but the gap up to Samet Oskin is now 70 points. So he really needs a win, and Baranowskis has a great race car. She is flying up through the field, and off of turn 2, she's going to pass Cavanero for second, or not turn 2, turn 4. Wow, that's a really bad mistake on my part. But Baranowskis is flying. She's been running these times on the top. And she is up to second place, and it looks like Baranowskis might be spoiling the party once again for Edwin Mendez. How about that storyline? Be the same driver spoiling the heat win for Mendez. Now, we didn't see pit stops in heat 1, so I don't think we'll see him in heat 2. But, man, Baranowskis just has so much more grip through the corner. I don't even think it's going to come down to the white flag. We're at 3 to go, and she is flying up here. Her last lap time was a 46.2 to Mendez's 46.6. I know it says 5.99, but what's 1,000ths of a second? Yeah, Baranowskis is just all over Mendez's bumper right now. James Ellison creeping up from 4th. Dale Lightning's up to 5th. Rick 6th, Seth Cole 7th, Logan Young, Fernandez the top 10. And right now, Johnny Gardner is outside the cut line. It's between him and the Reza for 20th right now. Baranowskis to the outside of Mendez for the heat race lead. Mendez holding on. Tire wear might have caught up with Baranowskis. 2 laps to go in heat number 2. And Cavanero's coming back up here looking for a fight. We'll be watching the battle here at the buffer zone. It's between Voiles, Nereza, and Gardner. There you see Voiles. Nereza, if Nereza wants to make this race, he's got to get by the 24, otherwise the 98 could pounce. Remember, Gardner's looking to get in on points too. Man, just such a huge gap now from Voiles to Nereza. Nereza knows it would hurt him more if he misses it than it would hurt Gardner. Gardner to the outside, looking for 20th place. Meanwhile, back to the front. Battle for the lead. Baranowskis to the outside, has it at the start-finish line. And into turn 1. Can she hold it? She does. Baranowskis spoils the party on Edwin Mendez once again. And Baranowskis showing everyone else that if you really want to pass someone, you've got to pin them to the bottom. Checkered flag will wave as coming around to the start-finish line. Baran will get her, what I believe is her 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th heat win of the season for Baran. And the battle for 20th came down to Anderson and Voiles. So Voiles, Rowe, Wheeler, and Johnny Gardner will miss out on the main event at Denver, and that's a huge, huge shock for Johnny Gardner's crew. That's going to be their 4th missed race on the season. And that 44-point gap back to Commons will be gone. Now, unless there's a new winner, it's not going to matter too much. But that is it here for heat number 2. I will see you guys for the main event. It'll be Flickinger and Baran on the front row. And we'll see if we get a new winner or a repeat winner once again.